the tape for this, our main event of the evening. We introduce the champion, Chris, the West Side Strangler Brennan. Let's get it on!
What's up, guys? We're here to go over the UFC 285 in Las Vegas coming up this weekend. Big fight card, huge fight card.
Even the undercard,
yeah,
looks really good. I was looking.
There are guys that should be on the main card that are on the undercard, and guys on the main card that should be on the undercard.
Yeah, I thought that for sure. I was surprised to see Brunson Duplessis. I know Cody Garbrandt has been. He's had a rough few fights, but he's a main card guy, I would think.
Typically, he is for sure. I think he's in what used to be Uriah Faber's favorite spot, which is the last fight on the undercard.
Right.
Which gets a ton of views, and for advertisement when they were sponsors, it was great because it was the last free.
Before
you had to buy the pay-per-view, it was the last free fight on TV. So, yeah, it's a good spot to be in.
It's cool. Well, let's talk about the first fight on the main card of the pay-per-view: Bo Nickel and Jamie Pickett.
So I'm going to get some hate from all the wrestlers for this.
Okay.
He's a stud, phenomenal wrestler.
Who he?
Bo Nickel.
Okay.
I say he because no one knows who Jamie Pickett is.
Okay.
And the only reason Jamie Pickett's on the main card is because of Bo Nickel. He's coming on a 2-fight losing streak. And Bo Nickel has done nothing in the sport of MMA to be on the main card. But he said, I won't fight if I'm not on the main card. And Dana put him on the main card.
I don't see Dana capitulating.
Very, very strange.
That's
You're
weird
correct.
to see him do that.
Yeah, and he does have a lot of potential, but like I said, there are undercard guys. This is a good UFC. This is like a great UFC, and he doesn't deserve to be there. He's done enough in wrestling to be whatever he wants, but in the sport of MMA he's not. And so he's fighting a guy that's coming off of 2 losses. Before that was 2 wins. Before that was 2 losses, and He does have more experience than him, but they've strategically picked stylistically a guy that Bo is going to run over and look good on TV and be like, see, I should have been on the main card. But the problem is the guy he's fighting shouldn't be on the main card. So, whatever.
So Bo Nickel's coming in at 3-0, and 2 of those 3 wins are on Dana White's Contender Series.
Right.
So obviously he's getting some preferential treatment because.
So he won his first fight on there. And Dana didn't want to give him a contract with only 2 fights, not being able to see much.
Yep.
And then he came out and did it again, and then he gave him a contract, and that's cool. Like, if they put him in the UFC, that's fine. If they want to put him through a developmental deal, fine. But Bo Nickel is trash talking everybody in the division, saying I'll be the best in the division. Right now I could fight the top guy right now. Well, he's saying that because he knows Dana's not going to give him the top guy right now. So you can talk all you want if you know it's not going to happen. I could knock the shit out of, what's the heavyweight champ's name that just left?
Oh, Ngannou?
Yeah, I could knock out Ngannou.
So could I.
As long as we never fight, right? So it's whatever. I'm hating on him. He has phenomenal wrestling. He's going to be a great fighter, most likely. And but I've been around for a long time, and everyone, for the most part, has to earn that spot, earn their way through the sport. And I mean, even Henry Cejudo, who was a couple-time, who was an Olympic gold medalist, the youngest we ever had before Kyle Snyder, fought in LFA, fought in other shows before getting to the UFC. And he wasn't on the main card, I don't think, for his first fight, and went on to get knocked out by Demetrius Johnson or the other little guy from Alpha Male. I forget his name. I'll get back to it, and then came back. Got a little too much too soon. Then came back and ended up being a 2-time champ or a 2 weight class champ, and so the possibility is there.
Sure.
But I don't think they throw him up to the top guys, and I think he knows that, and that's why he can talk trash, because he knows by the time he does get there, he'll most likely be able to beat those guys. But it is what it is. I'm interested to see the fight. I think he runs over the guy he's fighting.
Okay.
I would like to see him have just a little bit of adversity. I haven't seen him even get punched yet. So we'll see.
Interesting statistic for Bo Nickel. He's had 3 fights, and his total cage time right now is under 2 minutes and 30 seconds in those 3 fights.
Right. And so he has a half of a round of experience in the cage. That's it.
That's it.
You know, that's not very much experience.
And he's fighting on the main card in a huge and one of the biggest UFCs probably, in a
long time.
I mean, in a long time.
And I got into a little debate with people online when it first, happened, and they all argued for him. And everyone's free to do as they please, right, and argue for whoever they want. But the facts of the matter are, he doesn't deserve to be on the main card, especially with some of the guys that are on the undercard.
Yeah.
So hopefully he earns a spot.
So are you picking Pickett?
No. I think Bo Nickel probably runs him over. They're going to strategically pick who he fights for a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he can take down, I'd love to see him fight Chimaev. That would be, if he wants the best right off the bat, go ahead and jump to that level and see what happens, because that guy did that and lost his first fight. So go ahead and fight the guy that lost his first fight when he got put into the top 10 guys and see how it goes. I think Jamie Pickett is not the guy to do it.
I don't think anybody's signing up for Chimaev right now. I don't think there's
Bo
a
Nickel
long
was
line.
calling him out, talking trash on him. So
See
make
what
it
happens.
happen.
Second fight. This is another middleweight bout. Matisse Gamrot and Jalen Turner.
So I don't know if I'm confused, but I believe Matisse Gamrot was a 55er because he fought Benil Dariush.
He did. That's his last fight.
Okay, so he's moving up to 170. I wonder if he's moving up to stay up. I believe he was having a terrible cut getting to 55, so he might be moving up to stay up. Very short. He's my height, 5'8", which is pretty short in the 170-pound division. Yeah. That's where I fought, but guys are a lot bigger than that now, and I believe his opponent is 6'2".
They've got it listed here in centimeters. So
yeah, I believe he's 6'2", and so that's going to be – it's Jalen Turner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be – he's going to have, I'd imagine, a pretty hefty reach advantage. And so, yeah, that'll be an exciting fight. Gamrot's tough, man. He's tough.
21-2 coming into this with one of your 2 losses to Benil Dariush.
Right.
That's a solid resume.
Absolutely.
And I can confirm right here on Jalen Turner. Hold on, I'm going to load up. So are you picking Gamrot then on this?
That's a good question.
Turner's actually coming in at 6'3". He's listed at this is interesting. He's listed at 6'3", 155. Maybe this.
They're both listed at 155 on the app.
Yeah, I wonder why they had it listed as a middle
Yeah, it says lightweight on here.
Okay, it must have been wrong on the app that I was at.
Okay. So yeah, man, it's a tough call. 21-2, 13-5. Stylistically, I think Matisse Gamrot wrestles him and probably does a pretty good job. Jalen Turner he's tall, man. He's long. He's tough to get in on his legs, but I think that it probably happens. Jalen Turner was supposed to be fighting Dan Hooker. And that would have been a much more interesting fight, body type wise, because they're both going to be real long and lanky. And so Gamrot's a change. I'm not sure when that switched.
Do you know why?
No, but I would imagine that's an entire body type change over a camp. Yeah. So I'm curious if it's been like a month or if it's been a week or it's been,
Sure.
That'd be interesting to find out. I'll go with Gamrot.
Okay. Jeff Neal and Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Yeah, so Jeff Neal's the one guy from Fortis who continues to perform well. I think he just lost though to tough guy. Good fight.
Luque?
Who?
Luque?
Did he lose to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Win. TKO.
He beat him. Who did he fight before that?
I have to pull that up. Hold on.
Okay. Anyway, He's tough, man. He's the best guy out of that gym that's been at that gym, and didn't just start there. I'm gonna go with it's him and who? Rachmanov.
Rachmanov.
That's a tough call.
16-0, 15-4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rachmanov on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were wanting to know Vicente Luque. He beat, and then Santiago Ponzinibbio was the win before that. They lost to Neil Magny, lost to Wonder Boy.
So not who I was thinking of on coming off the loss then.
And Rachmanov, he's coming in obviously undefeated.
Where's he from? Is that a dumb question?
No,
With
he's
a 16-0 record.
Kazakhstan.
Yep.
So
Kazakh, Dazik, whatever.
Yeah, it's got a stand at the end of it. So he's coming off of wins of Neil Magny, Carlston Harris. So I'm trying to see if there's anybody else.
How long has he been in the UFC?
This is only his
second, third.
No, this is actually his fifth fight in the UFC.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be his fifth fight. So
I'm gonna go with him.
Rachmanov.
Yep.
Makes sense. Co-main event. It's going to be interesting. Shevchenko's defending against Alexa Grasso.
Yeah.
Number 1 versus number 5. Or champ versus number 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see Alexa Grasso having enough to get it done against Valentina. I dig watching Alexa Grasso fight. Great striking. Real good boxing, crisp boxing. I'm still bitter, even though Valentina is my favorite female fighter. I'm still bitter that she's fighting her and not fighting the girl that, in my opinion, beat her.
Which was?
I don't know,
Hold on.
She was a stud, the one that kept taking her down.
I'm pulling up her resume right now.
I hate that I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
She's a stud. She was a Brazilian girl.
Santos?
Yes.
Yes.
Talia Santos.
Yep.
And so, was it split?
It was.
Yeah, it should have been split the other way. But anyway. And like I said, she's my favorite fighter as a female. And I was pulling for her to win, and I was just like, she didn't get it done. She's not getting it done. And when the fight was over, I was like, oh, she got a loss. And then she didn't. So that fight should have been redone right then, and it wasn't. So now we get to see her fight Alexa Grasso. I think if she stands with Alexa Grasso, it'll be a good fight. It'll be nice. It'll be an interesting fight. A lot more can happen if she ties up, takes her down, and plays that game with her. Alexa's good there. She has a bit of a chance, but.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance. It's so hard to bet against Valentina.
Yeah.
And I don't know where she's training now. Like I saw a guy in her corner that named Richie something that we saw when we were in New York a long time ago, and he's a boxing coach, and all of a sudden next thing I know he's in her corner. And before that I knew she was down in Houston training with people that I knew. And then before that, like, she bounces around where she trains and kind of brings her crew with her. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if she's gets everything that she needs, but she's so far ahead of so many girls in there that it's hard to argue with.
Is there an argument to be made that by bouncing around like that, you're seeing different things, you're learning different things, you're being exposed to different things, and
Sure.
your blind spots are exposed? Is there an argument to be made that actually is better for her as a fighter?
There is, and typically I would say the problem is the different coaching. You get different coaching. People telling you one thing, people telling you something else,
Sure.
and then you got to pick and choose. She brings her coaches.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's getting coached by other people when she's there.
Okay.
She's using the gym and the partners and the,
Yep.
stuff like that. She is like a professional boxer. Like Mike Tyson's training camp is Mike Tyson. For MMA, you're in a gym with 30 other guys, and you're all training and sparring and moving around. In boxing, they're paying guys rounds to do rounds with you, to spar with you.
Mm-hmm.
It costs money to get a sparring partner. And she is, I'm sure, I don't know if she's paying people for rounds, but her camp is basically her. It's a traveling Valentina Shevchenko team, And you can get somebody very good that way. I mean, she's getting a lot of attention from her coaches.
Yeah. Shevchenko's coming in on a 9-fight win streak, hasn't lost since 2017 to Amanda Nunes. She lost to Nunes.
Was it that long ago when they fought the last time?
2017. And then she also fought Nunes, McGregor Diaz this is UFC 196 in 2016.
16.
And her only other loss goes back to 2010, Liz Carmouche. So she's only lost 3 times to 2 different fighters.
Did she redeem Liz Carmouche?
I believe so. That was in C3 fights, so this was not a big promotion.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't.
No.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
UFC Fight Night 256 in 2019.
I couldn't see her being in the same organization with her and not asking for that fight.
Yeah. So, it's like you said, it's really hard to bet against Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I think her and Nunes, they're both at such a high level that when they're on the card, it's hard to go. I mean, and Nunes has a loss on her, obviously, and
it's hard to not say she's better than Amanda Nunes because she fights at 25 sometimes, Amanda fights at 45 sometimes, and there's a split decision loss in their last fight.
That's right.
Right, like, so that's kind of like looking at Volkanovski and Makhachev, but even with a weight class between them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and she's still raising.
I mean, she's right there.
Yeah.
So I think she's probably the better technical fighter for sure.
So I take it you are taking Shevchenko here.
I would like to see Alexa Grasso win. I would like to see. I think it would light a fire, unless the close decision that Valentina just won lit a fire under her and realized, oh, they're getting close.
Yeah.
But I think if Alexa Grasso got it done, it would really fire up Valentina. But I think Valentina pulls it off.
She doesn't have she's got a handful of split decisions going back, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I think I'm pulling for Shevchenko. I think she is one of the greats, and it's fun to see the greats win and continue to do well. All right. We talked a little bit about it on the last podcast. It's finally here. We've been hitting about this and talking about it for a few months now. Jon Jones, after 3 years in the ring, is fighting Cyril Gane. Jon is coming in at 26-1, a 4-fight win streak. His last win was against Dominic Reyes in 2020. It was February of 2020.
Right, so it's like 3 years and a month.
Exactly, yeah. We're talking 37 months, I guess. Cyril Gane's coming in off of a 2-fight win streak, I guess. His last one, he took out Tai Tuivasa, who's, I think, one of our favorite fighters. He's a great little
Love
guy.
watching him.
The guy's awesome. I saw Cyril talking about this, and he's like, look, we know how this is going to go. I'm going to want to stay on my feet. Jon is going to want to go to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has any question about that. I'm assuming that's exactly how you saw this coming in.
Jon Jones stands with a lot of good strikers. He does have good striking. He has that nasty oblique kick to the knee.
Does he have good striking, or did he have good striking?
Right. I don't know. Like, on mitts, I think he looks like trash right now. I think he's fat. Like, he put on weight, and I'm sure he put on a lot of muscle too, but he looks fat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like back in the day Andrei Arlovsky heavyweight with a six-pack. You know, he is soft. Does not look fast. Like I said the other day, maybe he's playing a trick on all of us posting those, and he's going to look a hell of a lot better on Saturday night. I don't know. I hope he strikes with Gane. I think it'll make it a closer fight. I think if he wrestles, he can win the fight. You know, I think if he wrestles, he can win the fight for sure.
But he's got to get gone down.
Right. But, I mean, Gane got taken down repeatedly, right, by Francis Ngannou, who was not a wrestler. Big, but not a wrestler.
Okay.
And so
I kind of feel like there's almost an asterisk with anything Ngannou does because he's such a freak.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, everyone knows I am absolutely not a fan of Jon Jones as a human. Yeah. And even today, there was a post saying that his no contest with Daniel Cormier should be overturned because it's not valid anymore. His failed drug test isn't valid anymore. Well, what do you mean it's not valid? Because you're not juicing now. It's like, I mean, Barry Bonds can now be, now that he's not juicing, he can get back to, being in the Hall of Fame or being in whatever, or the home run
King.
Yeah. So it's absolutely valid. You can't. Dana White wants to reverse the one with Matt Hamill was a downward elbow, and he wanted to reverse that one. I don't think they ever did. I don't know if you can do that.
And it seems weird that Dana wants to come back. I mean, it seems like he should be an objective, non-invested party in that.
Agreed.
Why would he want to go reverse
Well, he definitely
those?
has bias with people, right? Like Connor,
Sure.
The money makers.
Sure.
And so, I mean, he's going to have those two marks on his record regardless, because he did. He took drugs for one. He elbowed, illegal elbowed in the other. They're facts. So,
I gave Cyril Gane. I said he was coming on a 2-fight win streak. That's incorrect. He beat Ty, but before that he had lost to Ngannou.
Right.
And then before that he'd beaten Derek Lewis. He'd beaten Rosenstrike, Junior Dos Santos, Alexander Volkov. Guys.
See, these are guys Cyril Gane's beating on the feet that I don't see John Jones beating on the feet. I think he has to wrestle a lot more in the heavyweight division than he did in the light heavyweight division. And let's remember, his last two fights, being 3 years ago, were decision losses that over half, or at least half, of the MMA community think he lost.
So they're saying if Reyes was unanimous, whatever that means, I'm sure it was probably a 48.
That's the one that people
47.
think he lost more than the other one.
Yeah. And then Thiago Santos was a split decision. Anthony Smith was a decision. I mean, you're going back to 2018. You're going back 5 years to see John Jones finish a fight.
But 5 years, but how many fights? 4? 6? 5?
3.
3, yeah.
Anthony Smith is a decision. Thiago Santos is a decision. And Dominic Reyes is a decision.
Yeah.
The last fight that he finished was Gustafsson, and then those 3 fighters after that. So,
Yeah.
And then he's got, a no contest against Cormier, and then it's a decision against OSP, another decision against Cormier, a decision against Teixeira, a decision against Gustafsson. I mean, he's going back to 2013. He's got one finish between 2013 and now.
Right.
And that's going back to finishing Chael Sonnen with elbows in 2013. I mean,
Right.
just saying Chael Sonnen
10
tells you it's a
years.
long time ago. You know
That's
what I mean?
10 years.
It's 10 years.
One finish in 10 years?
One finish in 10 years.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
he's got wins, but one finish.
Right,
in
right,
10
right.
years.
Yeah, he's beating guys, but they're lasting 5 rounds with him.
Yeah.
He was a champ all that time, so it was all 5-round fights.
You always hear John Jones in there with the GOAT conversation. He's up there with some of the greats. When you talk about title defenses, I think he's got probably, I don't know exactly, 6 or 7 title defenses, I think. I'd have to go back and look. It doesn't feel like on paper you would call him one of the GOATs. Is it the fight IQ? Is it the athleticism? Is it the entire package? What is it outside of his resume that people call him the GOAT?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combo of everything. He's clearly athletic, or was, and he beat a lot of good guys. Didn't finish a lot of them, but he beat a lot of, good name guys. He caught a lot of them, I believe, at the end of their careers. But he still, he did get it done. He does have a good fight IQ, that's for sure. He fights smart. He fights mean. He fights dirty. He'll get away with whatever he can in the fight. He's eye gouged 90% of the people that he fought.
Mm.
So I'll be interested to see. I will always be the guy that watches John Jones, but on the other side of the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll never watch to watch him win. I'll always watch to, and I admit it. I'm not. I don't like him. I don't even like the way he fights. I hate that kick to the knee.
I hate that. Yeah.
But that's just him. That's that kick. Whether people throw it, other people throw it. That kick is his personality. That's his personality coming out in him. I'm just not a fan. So.
That said, who are you picking?
Hard to pick at all, but it's hard to pick against him only because he possesses the one thing that I believe that you need to win a fight, and that's wrestling.
Okay.
You know, if they stand, I pick Francis, or I pick Gane for sure, Cyril Gane. And he may stand, you know, at range to teep, to kick the knee, to keep long, you know. But I think if once they mix it up, he's going to be looking for a takedown for sure. And then once he does that, you know, if he gets a takedown, I think it's going to be a long night for Cyril Gane.
I was thinking about this earlier today, that in spite of the fact that he's John Jones, he's put on, 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah, I guess at least by the time where he walked before and where he's walking now.
Yeah. And he hasn't been in the cage in 3 years. Those are two significant obstacles to overcome.
No doubt.
To come in a fight against somebody with the skill set that Cyril Gane has.
No matter what, no matter how the fight's going, if it gets to 4 and 5, he's going to feel it.
Yeah.
He's going to feel it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's nothing. Is there anything you can do? I mean, you hear about fighters trading for cardio and all that stuff, but I know there's an adrenaline dump. There's a lot that happens. Is there really anything you can do to train for rounds 4 and 5?
Oh, I mean, to train for them, yes, but
to prepare,
being off for that long, you can't train or fight at that pace. You know, in motocross, they call it the race pace. You know, practice pace and race pace. Mm-hmm. You are caught so off guard if you've not done it yet by the race pace, and the same as with a fight pace. You know, it is a different, completely different feeling than sparring, no question.
How much
you'll try and do way more things in sparring than you would in a fight.
How much of it is actual fight pace, and how much of it is adrenaline dump? And how much? I mean, is it a combination of both?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
no doubt. Again, how do you have them pulled up?
I do.
Height wise, what do we got? 6'4" and 6.
Okay, so Gane is listed at 6'5".
6'5", so he's taller than John Jones.
He's a big dude. And then let me pull up Jones really quick and see what it is.
4, I think.
6'4".
Yeah, and I believe he has the longest reach in the UFC.
That I do not have. I'll look that up and validate that.
5 or 6.
80?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's one other guy who's 84, but I think John's is longer than that.
And with that fight IQ, he knows how to use it. He knows.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
He knows how to get there. And between that and those oblique kicks, I'm sure it's hard to get in the phone booth with him, because he can just like touch you up and jab you and keep you away. Then oblique kicks. And John Jones, I feel like he uses his kicks well. I feel like that is
84.5 is his reach.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's straight up 7 feet.
Yeah, and he's 6'4". So there's an what is that? 8-inch, 4-inch extra on each arm.
Yeah.
You know, that's
to normal people.
Right. Very long.
Wow.
Very long.
Wow. All right. Well,
so
I know you said it was hard to pick.
I'm pulling for Cyril Gane. I am not going to bet on anyone. If I had to bet, if gun to my head, I would probably pick John Jones.
Yeah.
But I
begrudgingly.
But I'm going to pick Cyril Gane anyway. Because I'm not betting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. Well, it's going to be awesome. As we said before, pay attention to the undercard. I think there are going to be some great fights on the undercard, and I think it's going to be an entertaining night for sure.
Unfortunately, this giant card, I have a guy fighting in Oklahoma on Saturday night, so we'll be watching on my phone on the dashboard of my car driving back to Texas.
It's not the first time you've watched fights like
it's
that.
Definitely not.
So I know between Ty and this, you spent some road time watching fights. So
oh yeah, and as soon as I get home from Oklahoma, I go to sleep, wake up, and fly to San Francisco to watch Tyler wrestle his conference championship at Stanford.
Good luck, Ty. Everybody will be pulling for him for sure.
Cool.
We'll see you guys next week after the fight and go over the recap. Thank you. It is all over, just like that.